Let's be very clear. When we talk about recycling in this book, we're talking about the residential curbside recycling system in the U.S. But we aren't talking about just what your city or town lets you put into recycling bins. Just because items are accepted for curbside pickup doesn't mean that they are all ultimately recycled. Most curbside systems consist of trash and recycling bins, and some lucky communities have access to curbside compost bins, too. Some recycling programs accept more product types than they can process and sell to make it easier for customers to figure out what they can recycle. For example, New York City accepts all rigid plastics as a strategy to maximize plastics recycling and collect more valuable materials, knowing that not everything that is collected will have a buyer. On the other hand, the city of Erie, Pennsylvania, instructs residents to recycle only number 1 and number 2 bottles and jugs, stating that it cannot collect an item for recycling unless we have an end user who is willing to purchase and recycle that item. Each of these strategies has its own pluses and minuses. There are many variations on the recycling system throughout the U.S., and I'll do my best to point out when and why those variations are likely. There are 2 residential recycling systems, known as single stream, that takes all recyclables in one bin, or dual stream, where you have 2 bins, one for paper and one for metal, glass, and plastic. Plastic quote-unquote recycling bags. Warning: all of your careful sorting of recyclables will go to waste if you put recyclables into a black trash bag. And often your efforts will be for naught, even if you put them into a clear plastic recycling bag. The vast majority of recycling facilities won't open black trash bags because they don't know what will be inside of them. So these bags go straight to a landfill. When I'm in a public space and I see that a recycling can is lined with a black plastic bag, I cringe because I know that it's probably not being recycled. And often I'll just bring my cans, bottles, and other recyclables home with me. Most jurisdictions won't accept recyclables in a plastic recycling bag at all. For example, Waste Management, the biggest waste hauler in the U.S., has a Recycle Right campaign that includes a rule that recyclables can never be bagged, even in clear bags. There are a few outlier jurisdictions that allow for clear plastic recycling bags, including New York City, where finding a place to store collection bins is impossible in some neighborhoods. Be sure to check your local recycling program's website to see what your area requires. Regardless of whether your jurisdiction allows plastic recycling bags, opt instead, whenever possible, to use recycling cans or toters. That's what recycling insiders call recycling cans with wheels. And skip bags entirely. Also, don't put loose plastic carryout bags in your recycling bin. Plastic film is considered a tangler, an item that commonly gets caught in the gears of recycling machinery. What does recyclable mean? Recyclable is a valuable term. Companies know that customers feel better about buying products that are marketed as recyclable. Many companies and industry organizations have made attempts to define recycling very broadly, stretching the boundaries of what they can call recyclable. So it's best to rely on the guidance of the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC. The FTC is the federal agency charged with consumer protection. According to the FTC's marketing guidelines, a product or package should not be marketed as recyclable unless at least 60% of customers or communities have access to recycling facilities that accept the item. The item can be sorted by existing recycling infrastructure, and the item is then reused or used in manufacturing or assembling another item. Otherwise, companies that want to include a recyclable claim on their products must use clear, qualifying language.